What up, G-Life? It's your boy, F Shadow, back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, check out the playlist. The playlist on top where I have all my videos and no folders. Makes the video you're looking for a lot easier, whether it's reactions, G-series, all that good shit. You know, that way you don't have to keep scrolling. Don't forget to tap on the subscribe, the like. It's free. It don't cost anything. You'll be helping my channel get into the algorithm. Highly appreciated. You know what I mean? Now, what I want to talk about today was actually a follow-up video to a video I had done a while back ago, but it obviously got a lot of views, where it was my thoughts on Tony A, the Wizard. I had made a video a while back ago when the issue of when Night Owl and Royalty got brought up, and his allegations and everything, because I was getting asked a lot, obviously, because we cover Chicano rap right here and all that, you know what I mean, everything Chicano rap related. And so I gave my opinion on how I felt in that video, and then I have recently scoped out American Cholo's interview. Go check it out for those who are not familiar with his channel. American Cholo's podcaster who unites the raza and talks about different topics on his podcast and etc. You can go subscribe to his channel. And he interviewed Tony A. And Tony A went on there and brought his his like paperwork and like court cases and stuff like that, about his allegations and everything that happened. So in the video that I had made, I had told people, I remember when I made that video, I had said, I don't know who's lying and who's telling the truth, you know what I mean? But as of what it is, it's just allegations, right? You don't know which side is, who's right and who's wrong. So I said that I still, mess with Tony A's channel. I still watched his channel and everything like that. And I got a lot of shit for it, you know what I mean? A lot of people were talking shit. Oh, how could you be supporting somebody that woo-woo? And it's like, and I said in that video, my boy, you don't even know what are the facts. You know what I mean? Are you being told is their version of the tale, you know what I mean? Unless you come with the facts, you're not allowed to speak. That is how it goes in the streets. Black and white, you don't lie. You come with the black and white, or you don't speak at all. That's how it goes. That is the game. Plain and simple. You come with the black and white, or you don't get to speak, my boy. And as you've seen, the black and white. You know what I mean? There's no other way, how to cut it. Point blank, people could say whatever version they want to tell, like, oh, he snitched on her, or he want to take the stand, or whatever. Bro, you don't even know what you're talking about. See, that always goes back to what I say. People that don't know the streets, don't know their laws, don't know how the game goes, automatically assume that they know what's this and what's that, or what's telling or what's not telling, or what's considered, good or not good. Like, people don't know, bro. Unless you come from the streets, you won't know, bro. You just won't know. I'm sorry to say, you just really don't know how the game is. You're trying to assume and think you know what it is, going based off a few interviews that you have watched on the internet. Like I said, unless you really come from this world, you truly don't know. And you truly don't get to say anything if you belong to an organization or nothing like that, or if you're not from the streets, you don't even get to say who's this and that. I'm sorry, those are the facts. If you have no ties, you don't get to call anybody, this and that, because you don't belong to these realms. You belong to no criminal tie organization. So, as a matter of fact, none of that should even matter, of who's a snitch and who's not a snitch to individuals who have nothing to do with the streets. Anywho, that's irrelevant though. So, he went and he brought his stuff and, cleared his name. And I agree, you know what I mean? I agree with what they were saying on there. And like I said, it goes back to what I said, before when I was saying, because you get individuals that talk smack, right? Even I was getting heat, for it too, like, oh, how you could you support, but I stay true to what I said. If that's what I said, that's what I said, and that's what I stand by. You know what I mean? I said I still fuck with his channel because I did. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, and I said, you want to talk smack, but then when all of this comes out, and it turns out that it was a lie, then who's the one that's gonna look dumb? You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't speak without seeing it first, or that's why you don't speak without knowing the actual the full story and everything with the facts, not assumptions, facts. And so he went on there and he cleared his name and stuff like that, and I agree, and like I said, it's just sometimes you're put in these predicaments in life. It's a cold game. You know what I mean? How some people just want to anchor you down. It is what it is. But like I said, I was still messing with his channel. I still mess with his channel because I love Chicano rap. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan. I collect it and stuff like that. So I think what he does now, as my overall opinion on Tony A, I think what he does is great for the raza. You know what I mean? Now I'm one of the people that donated to the Chicano rap documentary. You know what I mean? I think I donated like $60. You know what I'm saying? And I never went and talked shit. Like I know it liked it or whatever. I never went out and talked smack like, hey, this vato is not wooty woo. You know what I mean? Because in my head I'm thinking, I don't know what's going on. You get what I mean? So I don't know if he's having a hard time. I really don't know the story, so I can't say what he's doing or what he's not doing. If he's keeping the money, if he's not, you know what I mean? Either way, let's say if he was keeping the money, it was a donation, right? Like nobody forced you to do it. So in a way, if they would steal the money, it's looking bad on them. But at the same time, you willingly, did it. You know what I mean? So you gambled, you pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So it's a gamble. But I never sweat it, So and he went on there and he was talking about what happened with his main man that was in charge of his thing before, and that's cold shit, because I know that feeling. I know the feeling of somebody leaving with before with my raps and instrumentals and just going ghost. So I know that feeling, somebody that you trusted and you seen that. I know that feeling, I know how scandalous it is. I know how cold, I know. You know what I mean? I've been there before, so I understand what he was talking about. I know what he was saying. So. I didn't see like he said he didn't really speak about that part or threw it out there publicly. So that's why it was taking long or whatever. But I think people just it's messed up. Just because he's raza, people assume the worst, oh, he's keeping the money or he's lying and whatever. When people don't even know that these are to be the facts. These are just assumptions. You know what I mean? But they speak about them like if they're facts though. And it's messed up because it's whenever it's a raza person, the brown man, people always want to anchor them down, and it's our own raza that does it too. That's the sad part about it, you know what I mean? Because we're raised to hate on each other, you know what I mean? We're raised to always be critiquing each other, slandering each other, and not backing each other up. We're raised to always mind our own business and don't get involved. It's not your business, or just mind your own, or quédate callado, or just do you, so and then you hear these people always critiquing, mira cómo está vestido, mira cómo se cree bien chingón pero no es nada, you hear everyone always critiquing each other. So we grow up doing the same, and so whenever somebody's rising, we don't want to see them rise, because all we ever hear when somebody even as a kid, when we're growing up, all we ever hear is, we never hear nobody motivating each other, whatever. All we hear is ese güey se cree bien vergas now, or nomás porque tiene carro. No, we're always hearing, we always critique each other, as the raza. That's one of our downfalls, the whites obviously have more unity, you know what I mean, because they're raised, to stand up for them, and if you see something, say something, and don't let them, and you better go and say something, and then black people are taught to, because of everything they've been through, they had the unity amongst each other too, and they see one of their own getting harassed or something like that, they unite. You know what I mean? Because that's the movement that they have always been pushing. But us, it's always like, no, 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 don't get involved. It's not your business. Or quédate callado. Or, you know what I'm saying? And we're hearing this critique that we're raised to be this way. You know what I mean? So, you know, to always slander each other and shit like that. You know, and it's not cool. You know. Because we have it rough as it is with everybody against us, and now to be on top of it, to be us doing the same too instead of helping, we're making the situation worse. You know, it's not a good a way to be you know, teaching the next generation on how to behave with our own. You know, so I think what he's doing for the raza, you know, like giving people you know, a voice, you know, covering people that normally, you know, other people, you know, wouldn't give an opportunity. I think it's dope shit. You know what I mean? And now he said that when all of this happened, you know, people were backing down from the interviews and stuff like that because of the allegations. Now I don't blame them for that, because, you know, when you're from the streets and you belong to a neighborhood, with that, it kind of gets treacherous. You know what I mean? It kind of gets a little bit rocky. You know what I mean? So I could understand why individuals, you know, would be hesitant, you know. But to say that, like, oh, like if they're facts or something like that, like, well, you didn't know the facts, you know what I mean? But like, I can't knock them for it too, because just because of the game, it gets more treacherous. Now I know the blacks, you know, are they're more lenient, you know what I mean? Like Crips and Bloods have, you know, rules and stuff like that, but their rules are not as strict as the homeboys. So, you know, like, that's why it kind of gets more treacherous. Or why when people say, why when we hear Chicano rap, like, we ask, like, where's he from, and that's what all we care about first, or does he really gangbang, is because we're more stricter. We're raised to be that way. You know, when this is like my mentality when I was younger. You know, when I was younger, I wouldn't bump music from an enemy. You know, now when I'm older, yeah, I see, because I was schooled. The older homies put me up on game, like, man, you think that you know, that's tough, like, you know, like, you're giving that person respect, homie. Like, even if he's your enemy, you can't be lying or hating. You know what I mean? You could just call it for what it is if you're claiming to be real. You know, they're the ones that schooled me on, you know, like, hey, I may not like them, but I'm gonna pay them the respect. The shit I preach on my channel, I learned from them, because I used to think the opposite before, and they're the ones that, you know, that's what older homies are there for. You know what I mean? They put you up on game, you know, on what it really is. And you know, you as a little homie, you just soak it up. So, you know, I owe it to them for the good glitch that, or the advice that I'm able to give. You know, it wasn't that, oh, I just know all of this and everything. No, it's because I made each and every mistake. You know what I mean? And they corrected it. You know, some had to come with, you know, rougher means, you know, because a homie was ignorant and didn't listen. You know what I mean? You learn the hard way sometimes. You know what I mean? But it's for your own good. You know, it's to better yourself. You know, and that's why, you know, homies are there for, to provide people with lessons. And this doesn't just apply to the streets, but even like an older person just passes down his wisdom to a younger person. That way he doesn't make the same mistakes, whether it's street related or financially, or, you know, household or whatever. And I'm not talking about a game. I mean, like, in general, an older person giving you advice from their mistakes. You know what I'm saying? It's not that, oh, this was just things that he knows everything, or he doesn't, or he thinks he's perfect and doesn't make mistakes. No, it's because I make each and every mistake. So I understand, you know, from their perspective of, like, why not, you know, why being hesitant. But I think what he does for the razas is chingon shit. You know, that's why, you know, I mess with his stuff. You know, one of the channels that I, you know, mess heavily with on YouTube. You know, just because of the whole nostalgia, you know, behind Chicano rap and everything. And I was a fan of him. You know, I actually have some of his tapes that he did from the Swami. You know what I'm saying? So I knew who Tony was. Maybe a lot of people, like, they were saying, oh, you know, how when they were talking smack about him, they're like, oh, well, who knew this guy? No one even knew who he was. That's not true. You know, some of us actually did know who he was. To assume that no one knew who he was is dumb. You know what I mean? Like, you can't speak for everybody, you know? Because I for sure knew who he was. You know what I mean? And that wasn't the only ones. My homies knew who he was. You know? So it's like, nah, you don't get to just say, like, you know what I mean? But that's what I mean. It goes back to our, you know, our nature and just hating on each other. You know, not like I'm saying, there's gonna be people out there that just don't like you for whatever reason, you know, and they're entitled to feel the way that they feel. You know, that's fine, you know. But to go and slander him or try to convince other people not to like him just because you don't like him, I mean, that's not cool either. And I have said that a lot of times here on my channel. Just because I don't like somebody doesn't mean that I'm gonna be telling people that they don't not to mess with him. You know what I mean? I can't tell people what they can and can't do. You know, it's up to them to judge for themselves. You know, I can only speak about my behalf, my experiences, in my situation with these individuals and stuff like that. So they're just my opinions. You know, but not to come out here to be saying that, oh, you know, whatever, unless they're like a pedophile or something like that. But you know, other than that, you know, no, you know, like people get to judge for themselves. So I think what he does for the raza is good shit. I think he's a talented individual, and I think he does know his way around music. And like I said, even the beef with him and I Down Royalty, you know, I had said on that previous video that the situation could have been handled better. You know what I mean? And I stand by that because it's true. But overall, yeah, like you know, people weren't able to speak unless they knew the facts. So you know what I mean? So. So now it's for those who are saying like, well, how could you still mess with him? Now what you got to say now? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I be telling people. You can't speak if you don't know. You know, or call it facts. So, you know, if you guys are not familiar, you know, he has a podcast right here. You guys could go subscribe to him. Go check out his stuff, you know, Tony the Wizard. Or if you want to see the interview, you know, or see for yourself, you can go watch it on American Cholo where he interviews him. But that's just my overall opinion. I think what he does for the raza is like good shit, and you know, and I stood by, you know, what I said in the other video in my opinion. I'm just saying, shadow, we out.